Hi everyone, how you doing? Wednesday night, midweek, Thursday tomorrow. I'm going to Manchester tomorrow. I'm doing a working day from there because occasionally I work from home, but occasionally there's trips to Manchester just so we can get together for the day. I hate going to Manchester, not because I love Manchester, but it's a nightmare for me because I either have to drive, obviously, or get the train because I live in Barnsley now. All right, when I lived in Oldham, but So for me, it's a nightmare because if I drive, I have to. Well, there's three routes. Home Firth, so all the farm roads through Home Firth, drop down Saddleworth Moor, then go through Oldham, then get down to Manchester, and it's central Manchester. It's centre of town. So there's that route. Then there's the other route, which is A628, which takes me through Glossop. Nightmare. Horrible. Absolutely horrible. That route is the most direct. And you look at it and you think it's only 30 miles. It's not far. 30 mile. But that is a nightmare. Like if you know if you've been that Glossop route, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It's absolutely awful. And I don't know why I've got such a big, huge forehead today. I think I've got a receding hairline, Might need to have an hair transplant. Look, I reckon it's gone back. Mind you, it's always been a big whopper. A big fod. Anyhow, so there's the 628. Then there is the M62. M1, M62. And then I have to go through Oldham. So it doesn't really matter which way I go. It's a nightmare if I drive. So if I do drive, I have to set off at crack of dawn so I don't have all that traffic situation. And I will probably, usually if I go in car, I do go through Home Firth because it's a nice drive and I can get through Oldham and hopefully get to town for ridiculous o'clock, 7:15 or something in the morning. Literally, it's ridiculous. And then I've done that before, and that's when I did the Gay Village video, walk around the Gay Village in the morning. And to be honest, tomorrow I'm going to go on the train. I've done the train once before and it turned into a nightmare because it took 2 hours for me to get home. Actually, it took me 2 hours to get to Sheffield, and then I had to get a train from Sheffield to Barnsley. It was horrible. But for tomorrow apparently is going to be a bit better, but anyway, it doesn't matter. So I'm getting the train. So the train is leaving ridiculously early in the morning, getting into Manchester at 8 o'clock. I have to go to Sheffield, then I have to come from Sheffield to Manchester on the direct. And you know what I hate about these transfer things? Literally, if your train's late, you're knackered. But even if your train's on time, you've then got to work out where the platform is, get to the platform, get on the train. It's stressful. It stresses me out. I don't like it. So I've got that to deal with tomorrow. But I'll deal with it. It's not a problem. It's not like a big deal, is it? But it feels like a big deal. It always does. And then I was going to do a video, but I thought, could I do another video? Yeah, I could do another video on Manchester, but do I really want to? Probably not. I've done a couple of videos on Manchester. I did the Gay Village. Prior to that, I did a walkabout, and a few years ago, I did a full-on video on it. And I've got no desire to do it again. I'd really like to do Huddersfield, keep thinking Huddersfield, let me tell you, beautiful. The history straight away, you come out the train station, oh my God, it is gorgeous. So that's one. So will there be a video tomorrow? No. No, you're sure there isn't. But I am going to do a video on Saturday. And, I'm actually quite scared about doing this video. Really, I am, right? And I'll tell you why. That frigging TV, can you see it, mirror? I'm scared about doing the video on Saturday. Not scared, but a bit apprehensive is what I'd say. I don't get scared, but I get apprehensive. So the video that I'm doing, basically I was coming off the M1 the other day and I saw this church. And it was this turn off that I'd come off at. And you could see this church at distance. You'll find out what it is when I do it on Saturday. I'm going to put the video out Saturday night. or Sunday at the latest, and I'll explain why in a minute. I was with my mum and I said, come on mum, I said, let's go and see if we can find that church. So we had to do like a bit of this, that and the other. Anyway, eventually we managed to find it, and it's literally in the middle of nowhere. And the strangest thing about it, right, because it's in the middle of nowhere. There is houses, but like they're a good walk away. Do you know what I mean? Like it's nothing. There's just farmland around it. It's so strange. But it's a beautiful church and it's a massive graveyard. Anyway, I said to him, let's go and find it. I want to have a look at that. That looks really nice. So we went in, beautiful graveyard. It is going to be a video this weekend, right? So that's definitely happening. And we're walking around graveyard, and all of a sudden there was a man and a woman sat there on a bench with a flask, right? And they were drinking. Well, it's weird because it were a freezing cold day. There were no cars, so they'd not come in a car. And as I said, there's no houses for like miles. Well, not miles, but there's no reason for you to walk there. The church were closed. And these two people were just sat on a bench in the graveyard. A man and a woman. They didn't look strange in any way, shape or form. They just looked like two normal people. I didn't interact with them. I don't know why, but I didn't want to sort of meet the gays. I don't know why, because normally I would. Anyway, my mum said, they're drinkers. They weren't drinkers. You know, like you get drinkers in churchyards and stuff. They weren't drinkers. I said, they're not drinkers. I said, it's a man and a woman. Like, you know, a couple of pensioners. And not that pensioners can't be boozers, but you know what I mean. They weren't drinkers. Like typical churchyard drinkers. Anyhow, I was walking around and for some reason I didn't meet the gays, and I was just looking at a few of the graves, and there's some beautiful graves there, let me tell you. I'm going to do a bit of research because I took some photographs of some of them, and I think it'd be nice if I do a little bit of research to give you a little bit of context as I'm walking around, specifically with one that I've seen, which is tremendous. We're going to give it a full once over. It's massive. Anyway, I'll get on with the story. So we walked around the back of the church and we'd gone past these people then, and my mum said, oh, that was strange, weren't it? Them just sat there like that. And it was strange because there's nothing around. There was no car. How did they get there? And I said to my mum, I said, I think they're ghosts. And I do. I think they're ghosts. I think they were two ghosts. I think what we saw that day were ghosts. It's got to be. There's no other reason. There's no other logical explanation as to why not an abandoned church. It's easy, that's the thing. It's not abandoned either. You'll see when I do the video, right? But it's just the strangest thing. But that's not why I'm nervous. I'm not nervous for ghosts. My house is haunted. And Stella thought she saw something. I was talking to Stella the other night. I don't know if I mentioned this in another live. I think I did. But I was talking to Stella on my phone, and she saw something. Like I was FaceTiming her downstairs in front of me, like I missed. I think I did mention it last time, but I put a video out actually. Anyway, that's not the reason why I'm nervous. Apprehensive. I'm apprehensive because it literally is in the middle of nowhere. And there's nowhere to run. You know, like, if there's a nutter there, a nutter could literally come out of a nook or a cranny around the church or be hiding behind an headstone. And I don't know why a nutter would be hiding behind an headstone, but you get me drift. If there's a nutter there, it's a bit strange. Those two people, by the way, that I said, they were drinking something. Why I say I don't know what they were drinking, why I thought they were ghosts, right, is because they were drinking out of this flask, but there were no steam coming off the breath. You know, like, it was 0 degrees. It was really cold. I literally couldn't wait long because it was freezing. I had my coat on, jumped out, had a look, straight back in car. It was so cold. But they were sat there drinking out of this flask, and there was no... I remember that I said to Mum, I went, Mum, did you see how there were no steam? You know, like even normal, somebody talking, you'd get the steam, wouldn't you, with the cold? There were nothing, everyone, nothing. I think they were ghosts. Anyhow, so I'm going to go back, but I'm nervous about doing it on my own, just in case. So I might see if I can rope Mother and Simon into coming with me. or Simon as a minimum. I know Simon will come with me. I don't know if my mum will want to, but she might do. But my mum has her own little business going on, so you know sometimes she likes to dedicate time to that the weekend. So we'll just have to wait and see. But I'll be taking Simon with me because I'm a bit dubious about who could be there. I'm not scared about the dead. Certainly not scared about being in graveyards. You know me. I really like being in graveyards. I love graveyards. Don't want to be in one, like to live, if you know what I mean. I'm not wishing for that. You know, I hope that's not for many, 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 many years yet. We'll just have to wait and see. But what I'm saying is, I'm just apprehensive about who could be there because it literally is in the middle of nowhere, and I think it will make the most amazing video. In fact, you know what? I'm going to fire my system up in a bit, and I'm going to do a bit of research on those headstones and see what I can come up with. I get excited by finding the histories me in the graves. That video I did the other day on Monk Breton, I could have done more with that video, you know, on reflection, and I will go back. It's just, you know what it is? It's just so bloody cold at the moment. You just can't, and it's my own fault because I didn't take my gloves. If I'd have took my gloves, I could have stayed out there for hours, honestly. It wouldn't have mattered. Hey, and there was the strangest thing, you know. Not strange. Well, it was strange because people don't do this anymore. And I'll tell you what I mean. When I was filming, I don't think I showed it because I cut the footage off. I did more filming than what I put in the video, a lot more. But the video, I wanted to keep it to a reasonable length, and I wanted to get the video out for a specific reason because I knew that I had, usually I'll take my time over, like if it takes me a couple of days to edit it, doing it bit by bit so I don't get bored and rush through it, that's what I'll do. And I was doing that, but because I knew I had to take my laptop back, and I'll tell you what happened in a minute, that's why I wanted to get the video out, so I sort of cut it down a little bit. But there are some other stories in there that I want to show you. And someone put in the comments that in that cemetery bit, one of the Busby Babes is in there. But I thought he was in Wombwell. I've never found his grave. So apparently he's at the top. I think he said on left. But it's weird because I'm sure I've seen mention of his grave in Wombwell. But he says he knows the area well and it's there, so I'm going to go and have a look. He knows better than I do. I've never seen the grave. So we'll go and find the Busby Babe as well. So we'll do that, but I need it to be a bit warmer. Right, I need to tell you what's going on. I've got so many things I want to tell you. That's why I'm hesitating, because I'm thinking, no, I want to talk about that. I want to talk about that. So that's what's happening this weekend. There will be another graveyard video. Then next week, I fly out to Egypt. I'm not going to labour on Egypt too much because I know I've been harping on about it a lot, and I know it's really boring when people talk about their holidays. But it's not an holiday. I'm going there to live and for a month. And, well, it might not be a month yet. All being well, it'll be a month. It might not be that long. It really just depends on a couple of things. Being able to get internet access reliably to do my job is the main thing, and if I can't get that, then I will have to come home early. Meanwhile, Mother's going to stay here, look after the house, so that's good. Not that it needs looking after, because I've got like my neighbours, you know, like there's Nigel next door. He knows exactly what's going on wherever. There's cameras everywhere. You know, you've got Michael and Adrian across the way. They're like watching out. You know, we all look out for each other's homes when we're away and stuff like that. So I've got no problem there. Plus I've got cameras and alarms and all of that, as everyone does. So, but you never can say never. But anyway, but Mother's going to stay here anyway. But my point is, what is my point? Yes, my point is the videos that I'm going to be doing for the next 4 weeks are going to be Egypt specific. So they'll probably just be like vlogs. That said, there will be some more of my story time videos. So I put a story time video. I call it a story time just because I think that's like the buzzword for it. But essentially, I'll call it Oldham Tales. So I put out an Oldham Tales video, and I've got more Oldham Tales that I've prepared, and I just need to finish them off. And when I say finish them off, like I've started narrating them, but then I've mixed myself up, and then I've got, right, I'll just stop for a bit and I'll just tell the rest of the story later, and then I need to edit it and da-da-da-da-da-da-da. So there'll be a lot of those videos that I'll be putting out, and there'll also be one-on-one guided tours around the Valley of the Kings, the Noble Tombs. We'll be seeing some really spectacular sights, and we've got a one-on-one guide, like not a group guide or anything like that. Literally, I'm going to be taken around these tombs by a specialist, someone who knows these tombs inside and out, and can take me to all the fabulous ones. So that is what's happening there. That's in Luxor. But to get there, I've got to get on one of those, those internal planes the tourists get on. Go to pyramids and stuff like that. It's one of them. So yeah, stay in Luxor for a good four, possibly 5 days. Then fly back to Sharm. But while I'm in Luxor, that's what I wanted to say. I don't know if I mentioned this on another video, but I'll mention it again anyway. There's a proper cemetery, the type we'd get over here, like, with English graves in. These are people who lived out there, like, in the not the golden age of Egypt, like when they were discovering all the tombs and stuff like that, and it's full of people like that, like who had gone out there and from like hundreds of years ago. There'll be some French people, there'll be all sorts of people in there, but that's what the cemetery is. It's like a cemetery for Westerners. Christians, Catholics, that's it. Anyway, there's lots of Christians, in Egypt. It's not just Islam. In Egypt, there's a good mix of Egyptians that are Christian. Did you know that? Yeah. Anyway, but this graveyard is specifically people that are from England and other places like that. So what's going to be interesting about that, because we're definitely doing your Surrey's UK graveyard on that, and it'll be really interesting to find those graves, and I'm hoping and I'm pretty confident that perhaps their tombs will definitely say where they're from in England, like London or Manchester or whatever. That was typical of the time, and I can imagine in a foreign land, foreign to us, where the foreigners over there, but you know what I mean. If we're being buried in what would be a foreign land to us, you're definitely going to put a marker on from where you're from. So anyway, so that'll be really good. I'm looking forward to that. And apparently there are some spectacular tombs to go at there. But the real tombs in Egypt are the tombs, aren't they? Do you know what I mean? Like they're the ultimate graveyard, aren't they? So really looking forward to that. And I think that's it. I've suddenly just run out of things to say. Probably a good job, really. I've been talking 18 minutes, didn't realise it was that long. So that's it, everybody. I'm going seeing Lou on Sunday, because I'm staying in Oldham Sunday night, because we're flying out early Monday morning. So I'll be going seeing Lou and Chris the Butcher. Lou from Lou's Life, Chris the Butcher's wife, So hopefully I'll definitely be going seeing Lou. So I don't know, we might do a live. See if she's up for it. I know she's got a lot on her plate at the moment with work and stuff like that. So I don't know. We'll have to just wait and see. But yeah, she's looking lovely, Lou, at the moment. Have you seen? She's done all her hair dead fancy. She's got some sort of I'm sure it's a weave or something, but it looks really nice. So we'll see how she's faring with that. And that's it. Anyway, I am going to go, everybody, because I've waffled on. Thanks for watching my video. It was just a catch up and to let you know about the Spooky Churchyard, and to let you know that I'll definitely be doing it. And we'll see what fabulous things we can find. So I will see you at the weekend.